Joy Madhav Prabhu.
Jai Mata Prabhu is joining. Prabhu.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Sadrita Mataji is unavailable, like she didn't pick up the call.
Okay. Actually, today's date is not given. No, it's given 29th, clearly in the table. In the table, clearly it's given 29th, Gita chapter 15.
Prabhu, today's date is given, but the link was not shared before. Like
This is where we use
everyone.
our common the sense. You understand? Common the
Yes,
sense? Mhm.
yes, yes.
Dennis the menace, common the sense. It is, the same link is being used every day. So obviously today also the same link would be shared. Unnecessarily, we wasted our 10 minutes of the class trying to bring everybody into the class. Let us start. Please give 100% attention, open your book, and don't multitask for the next couple of hours, please. Uh, I hope you all are seated in a nice place. Such Shastric studies should be done in a nice, proper place, not on bed. There are many devotees who do Shastric study on bed. They lie on the bed and they do. They read scriptures, they attend the classes. That's not a place to actually do Shastric study. There should be a proper place the way we used to study when in school and college. Similarly, there should be a proper place to sit, a peaceful place where there is good network, and try to sit in a more decent gentleman way so that a passport size photo of yours is there visible in the class, not somebody's hair and somebody's forehead. Chapter number 15. The name of the chapter is the Yoga of the Supreme. Very, very interesting and practical application of Bhagavad Gita. In this chapter, you would find. Please, everybody, unmute and repeat after me. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Shri Bhagwan
Bhagavad
Vacha
Urdhvam Moolam Adhasakyam.
Urdhva Moolam
Urdhva
Adhyasakyam
Adhasakyam
Ashwatham Prahur Avyayam.
Ashwatham
Swatam
Prahuravyayam
Chandam Suyasya Parnani.
Chandhamsi Yasya Parmani
Yastam Veda Sa Vedavid.
Yastam Veda Savedavid.
Okay. Before starting this chapter, please let me remind you all, this chapter might look rocket science for few, but it is nothing, it's peanuts. Because whatever you have already read, same thing will be given. It's just that you have to hold the nose not this way, like this way. Okay? Otherwise, everything is same, whatever you have already studied. Remember, Kshetra, Kshetragya, and all those things, same, nothing new. Soul, super soul, material nature. Similarly, now, the material world, there's an analogy. Yes, Shivani Mataji, please read slowly. Anuvad.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its root upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas."
Okay, everybody try to visualize the tree. So, imperishable, roots are upwards, so you can understand what the tree looks like. Branches are down, leaves are Vedic hymns compared to purport. Yes, Mataji, purport, unmute and say.
After the discussion of the importance of Bhakti Yoga, one may question, what about the Vedas? It is explained in this chapter that the purpose of Vedic study is to understand Krishna. Therefore,
Which
one who
sloka,
is
which sloka comes in your mind when you read this? The purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. Vede
Vedeshcha sarve am eva bhavetya.
Among the Vedas, I am to be known. I mean, not me means Rajkumar is meaning Krishna is to be known. Huh? Yeah. Continue.
Therefore, one who is in Krishna consciousness, who is engaged in devotional service, already knows the Vedas. The entanglement of this material world is compared here to a banyan tree. For one who is engaged in fruitive activities, there is no end to the banyan tree. He wanders from one branch to another, to another, to another. The tree of this material world
Understood.
has no end.
Understood this. One branch to another, to another, to another. एक शरीर से दूसरा शरीर से तीसरा शरीर continues, but he's in the same tree. Just like we are in the same material world. We have come across many other bodies. Understood, everybody? Changing of branches means changing of species. Continue.
The tree of this material world has no end, and for one who is attached to this tree, there is no possibility of liberation. The Vedic hymns meant for elevating oneself are called the leaves of this tree.
Pause.
This tree,
So the Vedic hymns, the different Vedas, the different, not Vedas actually, Vedic hymns, all more precise, are compared to the leaves of the banyan tree. So you can understand so many banyan tree, how many leaves it has? Innumerable. So many Vedic instructions are there. These are all Vedic hymns. They are the leaves of the banyan tree. Please continue.
this tree's roots grow upward because they begin from where Brahma is located, the topmost planet of this universe. If one can understand this indestructible tree of illusion, then one can get rid out of it.
So tell me one thing. During creation, where it all started? From Brahma? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
So and then when it started with Brahma, and then Brahma through progeny, Manu, Shatrupa, etc., all the other Prajapatis, he created 84 lakh species, yes or no? And they got spreaded. Brahma is in the Satyalok. And when after creating 84 lakh species, all got distributed in the lower 13 planets. Clear? So similarly, now look for the case of a tree. Here is the tree. Tree starts with root. The banyan tree obviously starts with root. Immediately, it's not the big tree. Initially, there is just the seed of the banyan tree, and the roots are Lord Brahma, Satyalok, and then slowly, tree expands to its trunk, to its branches, leaves, etc. Similarly, the tree is so growing downwards. Okay. So if anybody asks you why the tree is upside down, what will you say? Because Lord Brahma is upper in the roots. Satyalok is in the top. That's why. Got the logic? Shalini Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Please continue.
This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapters, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. And up to the
Please
13th
pause.
chapter,
The process of extrication. Extrication means mukti, set free. किसी को जेल से छोड़ देता है उसको extrication बोलता है. Okay. Continue, please.
and up to the 13th chapter, we have seen that devotional service to the Supreme Lord is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed at the beginning of this chapter. The root of this material existence grows upward. This means that it begins from the total material substance, from the topmost planet of the universe. From there, the whole universe is expanded with so many branches representing the various planetary systems. The fruits represent the results of the living entities' activities, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation.
Pause. So the fruits are compared to dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the chaturvarga in material world. Those are the fruits, na? We work. What is the result? Fruits means the results. Dharma, then artha, then kama, then moksha. Clear? That's why they are compared to fruits. Please continue.
Now, there is no ready experience in this world of a tree situated with its
No, no,
branches
no.
down.
We can stop here. We can stop here. Let's go to the second sloka. Please unmute all of you all and repeat after me. Adhaschotvam, adhaschotvam, prashritastasya sakha,
अधस्फोरत्वं
Adhashtam
तस्य
pratishtha
शाखा
तस्य शाखा
guna pravriddha vishaya pravala,
गुणा
Guna
विद्या विषया प्रवाल
pravidya
अधश्च मूलाननुसन्ततानि
Adhascha
अधश्च मूलानि
mulani
अनुसन्ततानि
कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके.
कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके
Manushya
Yes, Sadhvita Mataji, please kindly knock Shatrupa Mataji once. She's the only one left in the class. There are two ways of getting, two intentions of studying Bhakti Shastri. One, to just attend the lectures and enjoy, relish Prabhupada's purport. Very nice. So for those devotees, if they keep their videos off, I have no problem because they are not looking for certificate. Unfortunately, if the devotee is looking for certificate and if his video is constantly off, it is very evident anyways to all. So do not at all bother dive for certificate. At all. Do not bother us at all. You are welcome to attend the class. If you want to hear the lecture, no problem. Then you are allowed to keep your videos off. If you are not serious, then we will be serious. Yes, Sadrita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Shatrupa Mataji is in duty, election duty. Like she's,
Okay.
yes. So she will be joining late, she said, but she will be joining.
Okay, then that's a valid reason. Okay. Adhas chordva. Adhalam, mane niche. The branches of the tree extend downwards and upwards, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. What are the objects of the senses? Who can say all five? What are the senses? Chokhu, Kono, Nashika, Jibha, Tok. What are the objects of the senses, Shalini Mataji?
Drisho, Shabdo, Gandho, touch
Sparsha,
and Sparsho.
Rupa, Rosha, Gandha,
Rosh.
Sparsha. Yeah. Okay. So now, Jai Mother Prabhu, please link the sense and the object one by one. Please start.
Eyes for vision,
Okay.
ears for this hearing,
Okay. Hearing, it is called Shabda.
shop, smell, nose for smell, skin for touch,
So skin for Sparsha, nose for Gandha, eyes for Rupa. Rupa, Gandha, Sparsha, Shabda, and
Rosh.
Rasa. Very nice. Yes. So what are they for the tree? They are the twigs. Twigs, usually the small branches are called twigs, na? छोटा छोटा branch जो है उसको twigs बोलता है. Please continue. This tree also. Oh, I was saying this tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. These are the different analogy. Compared the material world being compared to the banyan tree. The description of the banyan tree is further explained here. Its branches spread in all directions. In the lower parts, they are variegated manifestation of living entities, human beings, animals, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. These are situated on the lower part of the branches, whereas on the upper part are higher forms of living entities, the demigods, Gandharvas, and many other higher species of life. As a tree is nourished by water, so this tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature. So, watering the tree might look good, but here watering the tree stands for nourishing through the different modes. So it's not good thing actually. Sometimes you find that oh, just a moment. There's some loose connection. Where were we? What was I saying?
Watering the tree.
Okay. Oh, I was
Nourished
reading.
by water. Yeah.
The description of the banyan tree is further explained there. Its branches spread in all directions. In lower parts, there are variegatedness manifest in this dawn. There are situated in the lower parts of branches, whereas in the upper parts are the higher forms of living entities, demigods, Gandharvas, and many other higher species of life. Gandharvas are usually the singers. As a tree is nourished by water, so this tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature. Sometimes we find that a tract of land is barren for want of sufficient water, and sometimes a tract is very green. Similarly, where particular modes of material nature are proportionately greater in quantity, the different species of life are manifested accordingly. So, where particular modes of material nature are prominently greater in quantity. So, different species of. So, if there is more Sattvagun in one, means the 84 lakhs, now everybody has all the three modes. But which person will get what body will depend on the concentration of a particular mode or the weighted average of a particular mode. I will give an example. In lion, maybe the Rajoguna is highest compared to the other gunas. Similarly, in trees, which guna is highest? Tamoguna is highest. That's why tree has lowest consciousness. You cut a tree, it will not protest. So now again reread the sentence. Now it will be clear. Similarly, when particular mode of material nature are proportionately greater in quantity, the different species of life are manifested accordingly. Andar gaya? The twigs of the trees. So in case of a demigod also comes in 84 lakh species. So which mode is proportionately highest, higher, greater in quantity?
Goodness.
Goodness, yes. The twigs of the tree are considered to be the sense objects. By development of the different modes of nature, we develop different senses. And by the senses, we enjoy different varieties of sense objects. The tips of the branches are the senses, the ears, nose, eyes, etc., which are attached to the enjoyment of different sense objects. The twigs are sound, form, touch, etc., shabda, rupa, gandha, etc. Understood? The subsidiary roots are attachment and aversions, which are the byproducts of different varieties of suffering and enjoyment, sense enjoyment. So, how can aversion be a sense enjoyment? How can attachment be a sense enjoyment? Can you give me an example? Attachment का तो आराम से दे दीजिएगा example. Attachment to music, Bollywood music, Tollywood music, attachment to food, attachment to intoxication. So, those are all sense enjoyment. How can aversion be sense enjoyment? Who can give example?
Prabhuji, what is aversion?
Aversion, दूर रहना, detachment. Give me examples of aversion being sense enjoyment.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Like in the first chapter, we see that Arjuna was not fighting due to the attachment towards his family members, towards his relatives, and he was denying to fight, means aversion. He was not acting in Krishna
No, no.
consciousness at that
Denying
time.
to fight is not aversion. So give me an example of aversion as a sense enjoyment.
प्रभु जी चैंटिंग नहीं करना और उसके बदले
Actually, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. His detachment from fighting was a kind of sense enjoyment. Why? Because he was thinking that if I fight and if I get the kingdom and nobody is alive to see me as a king, then what's the point? So, not wrong. That's very on a higher platform. But give me easy examples of detachment as sense enjoyment. Detachment as sense enjoyment. Give me example. हिंदी में बोलेंगे, हमको उदाहरण दीजिए, त्याग में क्या इंद्र तृप्ति है, त्याग में क्या इंद्र तृप्ति है, इसका उदाहरण दीजिए. यस, अभिषेक प्रभु.
प्रभु जी मैं कह रहा था कि चैंटिंग या स्पिरिचुअल एक्टिविटी नहीं करना और मतलब सेंस उल्टा बोल
Can't hear you properly, can't understand properly, your sound is not.
not chanting and doing any other things, detachment from chanting or spiritual activity.
No, not spiritual activity. In ground level, in material sense, give me tyag as sense object, sense enjoyment. Like, yes, Manidhar Prabhu.
प्रभु कभी कभी कोई दान दाता जो होते हैं वो लक्ष्मी सेवा करते हैं और बोलते हैं गुप्त दान करने के लिए, लेकिन वो गुप्त दान तो होता है लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उनके अंदर वो सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन रहता है.
Very good. Tyag. Even a person is making some donation which is not spiritual, material donation, or if he is doing some welfare activities, that is a good example of aversion as sense enjoyment. Why aversion? Because he's sacrificing his wealth because he's doing welfare activities. But there is sense enjoyment. Attachment means देगा नहीं, पैसा पकड़ के रखेंगे. Aversion means छोड़ देना. So when you're doing welfare activities, aren't you giving up your wealth? Yes. Is there any sense gratification in it? Of course. Very much. Similarly, when Dhongi Babas, they give up all material sense enjoyment and they go to Himalayas and they renounce the world. That is sense enjoyment. They give up the material world thinking that. Who is this person? Okay. So these are false detachment for sense enjoyment. So maybe this tomorrow is Nashing Chaturdashi. Somebody gives up. I will not eat anything. हरे कृष्णा, मीरा माता जी आप क्यों ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं? अभी तो कोई क्लास नहीं है आपका. प्लीज लॉग आउट कर लीजिए इस लिंक से. बार बार आप क्यों ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं? Okay, where was I? Anyways, so these are so there is sense enjoyment in aversion. So somebody gives up something.
चतुर्दशी आप कुछ बोल रहे थे प्रभु.
Tomorrow we are supposed to fast till sunset. So somebody fasts for the sake of advertising that I have fasted. This happens. Oh my goodness! Now I have to block her. Once blocked, person is away for 7 days. Okay, so these are examples like for sense gratification, people fast. They will take up something very austere, and the intention of fasting is to be more into devotional service. But the person after fasting is always cursing. Oh, kab aayega paran time? Kab aayega sunset? Sunset kab aayega? It's waiting. That's not the purpose of devotion fasting. Shivankar Prabhu.
আমি জানি না ঠিক কিনা, তো অনেক সময় অনেক বৈরাগ্য চলে আসে শ্মশান দেখে, শ্মশান বৈরাগ্য বা মর্কট বৈরাগ্য, তো দেখে মনে হয়
that is Shoshan Boiragyo, Markat Boiragyo, that is not forcibly for a sense enjoyment. এটা স্বাভাবিকভাবে এসেই যায়. শ্মশান থেকে ফেরত এলে কারোর মৃত্যু মরা দেহ পুড়িয়ে এসছেন. But is it forcibly? এটা তো স্বাভাবিকভাবে চলে আসে. আর স্বাভাবিকভাবে চলেও যায়। ওই জন্য শ্মশান বলে, কারণ কি এটা সাময়িক, ইটস টেম্পোরারি। বাট আই ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক ইটস ইনফ্লিক্টেড, মানে ইট ইজ ইনফ্লিক্টেড মানে বুঝতে পারছেন, জবরদস্তি, নিজেই মানে জবরদস্তি করে। Yes, please come to the next shloka 3 and 4. Please everybody unmute and repeat. Na rupamasheh tatopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishtha ashvattamenam suviruddha moolam asanga shastrena dvirena chitva tata padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartanti bhuya tameva chadyam purusham prapatye yata pravritti prashrita purani. Yes, Ankita Mataji, Anwar.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is.
Please pause. The real form of this tree, the real form of this tree is the spiritual world. So the spiritual world cannot be perceived in this material world normally. I mean, if you keep devotional service aside, non-devotees, can they perceive the spiritual world? No. Continue. But
with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never returns, and there surrender to that Supreme Personality of Godhead from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial. Purport. It is now clearly stated that the real form of this banyan tree cannot be understood in this material world. Since the root is upwards, the extension of the real tree is at the other end. When entangled with the material expansions of the tree, one cannot see how far the tree extends, nor can one see the beginning of this tree.
Please pause. Yes. Everything is clear, na? हर एक sentence समझ में आ रहा है? Please stop if you can't understand any sentence. Google it immediately. Please continue.
Yet one has to find out the cause. I am the son of my father is the son of such and such a person, etc. By searching in this way, one comes to Brahma, who is generated by the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Finally, in this way, one...
Yes, Jai Madhav Prabhu, how is Brahma generated by Garbhodakshaya Vishnu? Very simple question, actually. Too simple.
Lotus, from the navel, lotus.
From his navel, a lotus stem comes out. A lotus is blossomed, and Brahmaji comes out. Very simple. Please continue.
Finally, in this way, when one reaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the end of research work. One has to search out that origin of this tree, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through the association of persons who are in knowledge of that Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Pause. So everybody has to start inquiring, where did I come from? Who created me? Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Clear? Sloka number 5. Nirmama moha jita sanga dosa.
Nirmala moha jita sanga dosa.
Adhyatma nitya vinirvritta kama. Vandir vimukta सुख दुख संगे गच्छन्त मूढ़ पदमव्ययं तत् Please continue. Continue, Mataji.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom.
Clear? These are the qualities of a devotee. And finally, he attains Supreme Lord's kingdom. The surrendering. The surrendering process.
Purport. The surrendering process is described here very nicely. The first qualification is that one should not be bewildered by pride, because the conditioned soul is puffed up, thinking himself the lord of material nature. It is very difficult for him to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should know by the cultivation of real knowledge that he is not Lord of material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord. When one is free from delusion caused by pride, he can begin the process of surrender. For one who is always expecting some honor in this material world, it is not possible to surrender to the Supreme Person.
Pause, please.
Pride is
So,
due to
these are
illusion.
pause, please, Mataji. So these are the process from sloka number 1 to 6. Prabhupada, Supreme Lord is giving the ways to cut the knot from this material world and go to the spiritual world. You can note down from sloka 1 to 6. There's another sloka which will tell us how to cut the knot and go back to Godhead. That is sloka number 6. All are same sloka, giving us how to cut the knot. न तद्भाष्यते सूर्यो, बोलिए, न शशंको न पावक यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. Yes. The Supreme
abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
Okay, so these are the characteristics of the spiritual world. Now let me ask, so it is not illumined or illuminated by sun or moon or by fire electricity. So yes, Shivani Mataji, how it is illuminated, the spiritual world?
By the internal potency of the Lord.
Be specific, Manidhar Prabhu. कैसे भगवान का धाम ज्वलित होता है? साधुता Mataji? Very simple question I'm asking. How it is illuminated?
It's illuminated
through the bodily effulgence of the Lord, known as Brahma Jyoti. Okay, so Brahma Jyoti is usually the illumination outside Vaikuntha, but inside spiritual world. And the illumination inside spiritual world, that is Vaikuntha and Golok Vrindavan, it is called, what is it called? No, I just told Brahma Jyoti is outside Vaikuntha but inside spiritual world. But the illumination inside Vaikuntha is called, the spiritual sky is called, the spiritual sky which is illuminated inside Vaikuntha is called Paravyom. Have you all heard this? Paravyom. So I repeat, Brahmajyoti and Paravyom, the difference. Brahmajyoti is inside spiritual world, yes or no? But it is outside Vaikuntha, yes or no? Clear? So, outside Vaikuntha, the illumination is to Brahmajyoti. So, Vaikuntha planets, how is it illuminated? That is also bodily effulgence of the Supreme Lord, but that is called, that spiritual sky which is illumination is called Paravyom. Okay? Yeah. Please continue. Okay, no. Just skip. This is regarding that only, and we know that the material world. In material world, the illumination is through sun or moon, through electricity, etc., or to torch light and candle, whatever, fire. Okay. Please read the last paragraph of this. This is important. Paramam Mama.
The words Paramam Mama are very important here. Actually, every nook and corner is the property of the Supreme Lord, but the spiritual world is Paramam, full of six opulences. The Katha Upanishad
It is
2.2.15.
Katha. থয়ের নিচে দেখুন একটা ডট দেওয়া আছে ইংলিশে। কাঠায় উপনিষদ।
Katha. কাঠা আচ্ছা ডট আছে কাঠা হবে ঠ আচ্ছা কাঠা উপনিষদ
ইংলিশে তো ঠ নেই, মানে ট ঠ তো নেই।
আর বাংলা বইটা সাথে সাথেই দেখলাম। 2.2.15 also confirms that in the spiritual world there is no need of sunshine, moonshine or stars. Na tatra surya bhati na chandra tarakam. For the whole spiritual sky is illuminated by the eternal potency of the Supreme Lord. That supreme abode can be achieved only by surrender and by no other means.
Okay. So it is illuminated by internal potency, Shivani Mataji. But to be specific, bodily effulgence of the Lord. Sloka number 7, very important shloka. Mamaiva amsho jivaloke.
Mamaiva
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 Jiva bhuta sanatana. Mana shasthani indriyani. Prakriti sthani karshati. So you can write down from sloka 7 to 11, transmigration of soul is explained. And from sloka 7 to 9, it is explained that the jiva is not part and parcel of Krishna but struggling in this world due to 5 senses. Means the jiva is struggling. The struggling part is mentioned from 7 to 9. And from 10 and 11, these two shlokas, who can transmigrate and how is explained. I have to take this call. Okay. The living entity in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. So see, this is one shlok, very powerful shloka, because here Krishna is directly saying that living entities are part of me, part of Lord. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include mind. 6 kaise? 5 plus 1. 5. Chokko, kono, nashika, jibba, tok, and mind. Mana, shastrani, indriyani. Shastrani means 6th. Indriyani. Mana, mane, man, mind. Yeah, continue Mataji purport in this verse.
In this verse, the identity of the living being is clearly given. The living entity is the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumes individuality in his conditional life and in his liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is eternally fragmented. It is clearly said, Sanatana, according to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and
Okay.
expands
So,
himself.
so this means it is clearly stating that Jeev is Sanatan, means alag identity hai. He is not one with the Lord. So Mayavad is totally crushed by this shloka from Supreme Lord, because Mayavad states Advaitavad. Advaitavad means Lord and Jiva becomes one. But here Lord is saying Jivas are my amsas. Mamaiva amsho Jiva loka. So Jeev मैं नहीं हूं, मेरे अंश हैं. That means Jiva is different from Lord. If you say this is mine, ये चश्मा का ढक्का मेरा है, that means this is not you, this is yours. But it is not you. You're not saying this is me, you're saying this is mine. Means this belongs to you. That means you and this particular thing, stuff, they are different. You know, just like we say, ये मेरा हाथ है, this is my hand. That means ये मेरा. That means मैं कोई दूसरा कोई व्यक्ति हूँ. That means I'm not this body, I'm not this hand. That means, so who am I? I am soul. Okay. Yeah, this is very important shloka. Mamaiva amsho is very important. Please read the last paragraph. The word Mamaiva amso, fragmental parts.
The words Mamai Vamsha, fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, are also very significant. The fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is not like some material broken part. We have already understood in the second chapter that the spirit cannot be cut into pieces. This fragment is not materially conceived. It is not like matter which can be cut into pieces and joined together again. That conception is not applicable here because the
False.
Sanskrit word.
False. So once it is outside, so jivas are amsa of the Lord. But when it comes out from the Lord, it comes out forever. Don't think that jiva again can be rejoined with the Lord. So just like this cover, if I take out from the mobile, don't think that jiva, when going back to Godhead, it will again get joined with the way it was away from the Lord, it will again get joined with the Lord. No, this is Mayavad philosophy. Mayavad says Lord is apurna without jivas. Lord is incomplete without jivas. And when the jiva, after successing their lives, after making their life successful through devotional service, goes back to the spiritual world, it merges with the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord becomes Punna. Punna means full. So that is wrong. Because there is another shloka in Ishopanishad, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Whatever comes out from Supreme Lord, who is fully absolute, the absoluteness of the Supreme Lord is still maintained. So it's not that Lord becomes incomplete when jivas come out from him, emerge from him. Okay? And it's not that when jivas goes back to spiritual world, that Supreme Lord is again, he becomes absolute. This is wrong. Any question in this regard? This tattva is clear, na? Advaitavad? Yeah. Continue, Mataji.
Because the Sanskrit word Sanatana, eternal, is used. The fragmental portion is eternal. It is also stated in the beginning of the second chapter that each and every individual body, the fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord, is present. Dehinasmin yatha dehe. That fragmental portion, when liberated from the bodily entanglement, revives its original spiritual body in the spiritual sky, in a spiritual planet, and enjoys association with the Supreme Lord. It is, however, understood here that the living entity, being the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is qualitatively one with the Lord, just as the parts and parcels of gold are also gold.
So qualitatively, we are one with the Lord, but quantitatively, we are anu, dot, and Lord is fill in the blanks.
Vibhu.
Vibhu.
Next shloka. Sariram yad avapnoti
Shariram
Shariram
Yadavapnoti
yachapyutkramatishvara
Yadavapnoti
gृहीत्वाैतानि संयति वायुर्गन्धम् इव सयात् विश्वजीत प्रभु विश्वरूप प्रभु.
Translation. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take
Please
another.
pause. Please pause. Air carries aroma. So please connect it, Vishwarup Prabhu, with living entities. So who is living entity and what it carries is compared to what? The living entities carries different conception of life. Air carries aroma. So living entities is compared to air.
Air,
Different conception of life is compared to aroma.
aromas.
So what is different conception of life? Man, buddhi, hankar, subtle body. So living entity carries subtle body. I told from these 7 to 11 transmigration of soul is discussed. So please tell me, when a person dies, what goes out from that dead body and enters the new body?
Soul.
Not only soul. Wrong. That is wrong answer. Soul. Soul
Supta
is
मन
not
बुद्धि अहंकार
Subtle body
incomplete.
also
Man,
might
buddhi,
have
ahankar.
मन बुद्धि अहंकार
Yes, three things transmigrate: soul, Atma, Paramatma, and subtle body. Paramatma is present actually. Paramatma is ever all pervading. Uh, so soul and Sukshma body also goes there. So how can you justify that subtle body also goes? What is the proof?
চেতনার লেভেলটা যার যেরকম থাকে মৃত্যুর সময় পরবর্তীকালে সে সেই রকম দেহ প্রাপ্ত হয়।
Okay, that is philosophy. But what is proof? That how can you prove? See, the subtle body has gone in. How can you prove? Logically, scientifically. Manidhar Prabhu?
प्रभु जैसे कि कोई व्यक्ति बहुत जल्दी ही अगले जन्म में कोई अपनी भक्ति सेवा करने लगता है तो
Very
वो मन बुद्धि अहंकार उसके पहले पूर्व जन्म के रहते हैं तो
correct.
वो
Very
कैरी
nice.
फॉरवर्ड करता है
Through differentiation of behavioral pattern, all say same time, same muhurt, 5 children are born, but all have different attributes. Why is it so? They are just born, so there is no karma. There is no karma phal. So how can why they are different? They are different because of the subtle body. So just like these Zomato boys, they carry big bags behind their back. You have seen big box. Similarly, when the transmigration of soul takes place, the soul carries big boxes of mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are all past experiences which have resulted in their what they are. So that's why few children very quickly learn swimming. Few children are inclined towards swimming, maybe because they were fish previous life, maybe they were attached to aquatics previous life. Uh, that's how we understand. Few are very good in singing. Since birth only they start singing. They appreciate singing. I saw a very nice video yesterday. Small child, mother is singing. The small child is also singing with the mother. Mother is purposefully singing spiritual songs, bhajans. So that the child is also picking up very nicely and very tender age. I'll show you. I don't know. It's in the WhatsApp. How I'll be able to show you? But you can see the child is reciprocating. He's very, very small, tiny child, but he's trying to sing with the mother. I don't know if it will be visible or not. Okay, this is just part of the song came out. The full song shows how the child is also struggling to sing with the mother. So these are all attributes of the previous life, which is carried by the soul in the new body. There might be so many children who are not interested in singing. Forget about children. Even I saw many devotees who are not interested. उतना भजन में उतना अच्छा नहीं लगता है. I mean, it's whatever, can't help it. There are, you understand, and in congregation also you will see few devotees very much inclined to bhajan, and few not interested. Few are inclined to cooking in the deity service in deity kitchen, and so on and so forth. These are all because of variegatedness, and the variegatedness comes because of the different permutation combination of man, buddhi, and ahankar. Please come to now sloka number 9. 9 ना, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
8 हो गया?
8 नहीं हुआ ब्रो ना, 8 का purport तात्पर्य
translation पढ़ रहे थे हम लोग.
Purport, yes. Please read, Sadhrita Mataji. Here the
Prabhuji, actually it's raining. Is it background noise is coming?
till
Or
now no.
is it okay? Okay. Translation. The living entity in the material world carries his different
What are you reading?
conceptions.
Translation of purport. Purport, please.
Okay. Here is the living. Here the living entity is described as Ishvara, the controller of his own body. If he likes, he can change his body to a higher grade, and if he likes, he can move to a lower class.
Pause.
Minute
So
independent.
that depends on his desire. He can upgrade or downgrade. Why is the jeev called Ishvara? Because he is the controller. Ish means controller and Ishwar means controller. Ish Sanskrit means control. So jivas are compared to controllers. And who is Parameshwar? Ishwar of Ishwaras, control of controllers, controller of controllers. Okay, that is Supreme Lord. Continue.
Minute independence.
Minute independence.
Minute independence is there. The change his body undergoes depends upon him. At the time of death, the consciousness he has carried will carry him on
He has
to the
created.
next type of body.
Consciousness he has created.
Yes, the consciousness he has created will carry him on to the next type of body. If he has made his consciousness like that of a cat or dog, he will sure to change to a cat's or dog's body.
Okay, now my question to is, how will a human being make his consciousness like a cat and a dog? Give me an example. How will okay, let's take off a dog. How can a person make his consciousness to that of a dog? Give me points. Points 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody? Please raise your Google hand. Yes, Shubhankar Prabhu. Be specific.
Prabhu, if one has a pet cat or a dog and dies thinking of him at the time of death, so ensure he will get a cat or a dog's body.
Okay, give me more detail. How the consciousness of a dog he has developed. Jai Mother Prabhu. More specific.
Prabhuji, eating, mating, sleeping, defending, if he
Very
has
good. Very good. So like dog, he's inclined towards non-veg. Like dog, he's very lazy. They say as lazy as a dog. Sense gratification, yes. Like dog, dog is always inclined towards uh, sex life with many female dogs. So like eating bones, okay. Also chewing not only the flesh, also the bone. Very good point. So these are the attributes of a dog. If a person has developed that, then obviously, and also maybe his likes for dogs, he's playing with dogs, eating with dogs, sleeping with dogs. That happens with so many. They say sleep on the same bed, the dog and the master sleeping on the same bed, and playing throughout the day, taking care of the dog, bathing him, etc. So slowly his consciousness 100% will become like a dog. Radhesham Prabhu in his lecture, he was saying that the person in few days, he will also start looking like the dog. Alsatian, as you know, taking care of an Alsatian, he would start looking like an Alsatian in few days. From distance, you will see, you find them do bhai aa raha hai, like that. Similarly with cats, cats also has some attributes. If a person develops those attributes, automatically at the time of death, he will think of cat and he'll become cat. Okay. Please come to sloka number 9. Srotram chakshu sparshanam cha
श्रोत्रं
चक्षुस्पर्शनं च
rasanam
घ्राणं
griranam eva cha
रसनां
adhisthaya manaschayam vishayan upasevate. Continue.
The living entity, thus taking another gross body.
No, we need some loud noise because it's raining everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
You can read loudly. Shalini Mataji, loudly.
The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects.
New set of sense object. Now the person has obtained the body of a dog. So there is a new sense set. So dog has few attributes. Dog's smelling is higher than humans. Yes or no? Smelling sense is very higher. Vision. Dog has night vision. Little more than human. I think cat has more night vision. Okay. So there are new attributes, new sets of senses, and new sense ka power also is different. New attributes, new collection, new cosmopology. Understood? He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. Purport, very important.
In other words, if the living entity adulterates his consciousness with the qualities of cats and dogs, in his next life he gets a cat or dog body and enjoys. Consciousness is originally pure like water. But if we mix water with a certain color, it changes. Similarly, consciousness is pure, for the spirit soul is pure. But consciousness is changed according to the association of the material qualities. Real consciousness is Krishna consciousness. When therefore one is situated in Krishna consciousness, he is in pure life. But if his consciousness is adulterated by some type of material mentality, in the next life he gets a corresponding body. He does not necessarily get a human body again. He can get the body of a cat, dog, hog, demigod, or one of many other forms, for there are 84 lakh species.
Similarly, if a person is making 1000 Ashwamedh Yagya, what will he be elevated to? Next life?
Indra.
Yes. Sloka number 10. Utkramantam sthitam vapi Gunjatanam vagunan vitam विमूढानानु पश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषा still the transmigration of soul is going on still. Okay, yes, continue.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this.
Yes, so Bharat Maharaj could see how he became a deer. He was a transcendent, he was in bhava stage. He knew, oh, because of finishing touch mein garbar kar diya main. I was in bhava stage. I got attached to a deer and see what, doe, sorry, not deer, and see what happened. Purport?
The word Gyan Chakshu is very significant. Without knowledge, one cannot understand how a living entity leaves his present body, nor what form of body he is going to take in the next life, nor even why he is living in a particular type of body. This requires a great amount of knowledge understood from Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures heard from a bona fide spiritual master.
Okay, thank you. So one can understand how a living entity leaves his body and why, what form, जो भी form मिला उसको क्यों इस form में है. So we practiced one or two examples of cat and dog. Let me give another example. Say if a person is in the body of a demigod, also we discussed, na? Okay. If a person is in the body of a crocodile, okay? So here it is written, one can understand how a living body, somebody has Jnana Chakshusha, which I'm sure you all have because you all are in devotional service since few years. So what can we ascertain from that crocodile body? That what kind of consciousness the person must have had in the previous life, had he been a human?
पूरा दिन सोए रहना under the sun.
Okay. Sunbathing. He used to like sunbathing. It might look like a joke, but these are the attributes. This is what Prabhupada is talking about in the purport.
Lazy.
Give me more.
Non-vegetarian.
Lazy, Prabhuji.
Lazy, sunbathing, non-vegetarian.
Wide mouth, like moves, many teeth and wide mouth.
That is bodily feature. I'm talking about consciousness. Behavioral pattern. Behavior. Non-vegetarianism is behavior. Sunbathing is behavior. Crocodile tears. So acting like a dead person, but very much alert. है ना बोल रहा है नमन crocodile tears. These are the attributes, behavioral pattern. These behavioral pattern, when a person shows in the human form, for example, if there has been a degradation from human form to a crocodile, so the person must have exhibited these qualities as a human in this previous life. Must have been lazy, non-vegetarian, must have been a hypocrite, showing crocodile tears. Crocodile tears means hypocrism, no? Hypocrism. Yeah. So these attributes, then that means then at the time of death, Chitragupta gave him this kind of a body. His soul entered the body, soul and subtle body entered the body of a crocodile. So that's why, please come back to the translation again. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of a body he enjoys under the spell of modes of nature. But the Jnana Chakshu person, he understands. उनको पता चल जाता है कि this person, either his consciousness was that of a crocodile like in his previous life, और ऐसा भी हो सकता है that he was cursed. For example, the crocodile in the Gajendra Moksha pastime of Supreme Lord, he was a demigod in his previous life. His name was Huhu. You all must have read in Gajendra Moksha Srimad Bhagavatam. But because He was notorious and he was pulling clothes of sadhus when they were meditating on river. So the sadhu cursed him, and thus he attained the body of a crocodile. So this is another possibility. Clear? Sloka number 11. Yatanto yoginaschainam
Yatanto
Yatanto yoginaschainam
pasyantatmanyavasthitam
पश्यन्त्यात्मन्यवस्थितं
yatanto api akritatmano
Yatanto
यतो अभ्यात्मानो
nainam pasyante chetasha.
Nainam
नैनं
pasyanti
Yes, please continue, Shalini Mataji. The endeavoring.
The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly. But those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to.
Same point, that the endeavoring transcendentalist. Endeavoring means sadhaka. So we are not, I mean, to call us devotees would be not right. We are sadhakas. Sadhakas means practicing devotees. Hmm. Endeavoring transcendentalists. There's another nice phrase for sadhakas. Who are situated in self-realization, we are not yet, can see this very clearly. See what? That why a person has got such a body. सब समझ में आ जाते हैं देखकर. If somebody is handicapped, somebody has some flaws, then you can understand why it is like that. So there must have been some previous karma because of which the jiva, the living entity, has got that particular defect. Purport.
There are many transcendentalists on the path of spiritual self-realization, but one who is not situated in self-realization cannot see how things are changing in the body of the living entity. The word yogina is significant in this connection. In the present day, there are many so-called yogis and there are many so-called associations of yogis, but they are actually blind in the matter of self-realization. They are simply addicted to some sort of gymnastic exercise and are satisfied if the body is well built and healthy. They have no other information if the body, they have no other information. They are called yatanto api akratat mana.
Okay,
Even
yatanto api akratat mana ka shabdarth pariye, word to word translation. Yatanto
yatanto
endeavoring.
endeavoring, api although, akrata atmana, those without self-realization.
So they are practicing, but without self-realization. They are practicing for what? For better body. Continue, please.
Even though they are endeavoring in a so-called yoga system, they are not self-realized. Such people cannot understand the process of the transmigration of the soul.
That's why you will find such yogis. They are also showing the different yogic postures, but personally, they eat kanda lasun. They eat kanda lasun. So this is a forbidden vegetable, but they don't have any self-realization. They don't have that knowledge. So they may be showing various gymnastics and yoga postures, etc., for betterment of body, but they don't eat like sadhus. They don't do spiritual activities also. Sloka number 12. Yadaditya tejo
Yadadiktam
यदित्यं गतं तेजो
jagat bhashayate akhilam
jagat
yachandramasi yajagnav
यच्चन्द्रामसि
tattejo vidhi nam makam. So although such people might look spiritualists from outside, but when you see that they are not yet self-realized, they are not following the devotional path. Another example would be, did I tell you about Radhanath Swami Maharaj in while flying, and another spiritual leader from Tibet? What happened? I told in the class. So very famous. You all know, I won't take name. Spiritual leader from Tibet. You all know. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj was once flying, and so another spiritual leader from Tibet, so-called religious leader. They met and they spoke very nicely. Both were very happy meeting each other. Maharaj thought, what a nice spiritualist. And they spoke for half an hour. Then in the flight, they sat together. After some time, the aerostess came. She asked Radhanath Maharaj, what do you want to eat? Veg, non-veg? Maharaj said that I am carrying my prasadam. Don't worry about getting anything. So that she then asked that master, Tibetan master, very famous worldwide, what do you want, sir? Veg, non-veg? He said, one non-veg plate, please. So before that, they were speaking about self-realization and spiritualism, so many things they were talking about. But 1 second में औकात पता चल गया. Hare Krishna. Okay, where were we?
Translation of 11.
Yes, please continue.
Even though they are endeavoring in a so-called yoga system, they are not self-realized. Such people cannot understand the process of the transmigration of the soul. Only those who are actually in the yoga system and have realized the self, the world, and the Supreme Lord, in other words, the Bhakti yogis,
We
those
did this already, na?
Hare Krishna Mataji, we are
Actually,
doing
প্রভু
12.
বুঝতে পারছি না
in
মাতাজি
12,
কোথা থেকে read
12
করছে
12.
oh,
shloka,
12 here.
Wait.
12.
we are
Sloka
just
number 12.
about to read the translation.
Yeah, translation for 12. Please continue, Mataji.
translation. The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire are also from me.
So from sloka number 12 to 15, the Supreme Lord is exhibiting appreciation for the various position in maintaining the material world. From shloka number 12 to 15, there will be exhibition of appreciation by the Supreme Lord for the various posts he is holding in the material world. So in this, he's saying that that splendor of the sun, it has all come from him. Because of the splendor of the sun, the darkness is dissipated in this material world. Similarly, that of moon. Purport?
The
No.
unintelligent.
Second para purport.
From this verse, we can understand that the sun is illuminating the whole solar system. There are different universes and solar systems, and there are different suns, moons, and planets also, but in each universe, there is only one sun. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.21, the moon is one of the stars. Nakshatram aham sasi. Sunlight is due to the spiritual effulgence in the spiritual sky of the Supreme Lord. With the rise of the sun, the activities of human beings are set up. They set fire to prepare their foodstuff, they set fire to start the factories, etc. So, many things are done with the help of fire. Therefore, sunrise, fire, and moonlight are so pleasing to the living entities.
Pause. And these all are actually manifestation of Supreme Lord, expansion of Supreme Lord. This is how Supreme Lord expands himself in the material world. There is another shloka which will say that sun and moon are my eyes. So my question is, why Supreme Lord expands in such ways in material world? Who can say? Like he says later, I am the taste of water. Why he does that? Think. Why Supreme Lord expands in so many ways in material world? Because when we see these things, or we just tell me, how many of you all drink water? Everyone does. How many times? 10 to 15 times per day. Every time you drink, the taste of the water is Supreme Lord.
Krishna.
Yeah. So the sun and the moon, it is very evident every day, very clear, you can see them. Whenever you see them, what do you think? Arey, Bhagwan ka aankh hai ye. So it reminds you of Krishna. So this is another way of Krishna's mercy on us. Sloka number 13. गाम अविश्य च भूतानि, सब बोलिए।
भविष्यस्य भूतानि
भूतानि
धरयामि अहम ओजस,
धारयामि
पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्व,
पुष्णामि
सोम भूत्वा रसात्मक। Yes, continue.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables.
Okay. My energy, they stay in orbit. Sutre mani ganaiva. Otherwise, they will fall from their place. Purport.
It is understood that all the planets are floating in the air only by the energy of the Lord. The Lord enters into every atom, every planet, and every living being. That is discussed in the Brahma Samhita. It is said that
Which
they
sloka?
are
Which sloka? Hare atom. Anda. Andantarastu paramanu chayantarastam. Hmm. Yeah, continue.
It is said there that one plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, enters into the planets, the universe, the living entity, and even into the atom. So, due to his entrance, everything is appropriately manifested. When the spirit soul is there, a living man can float on the water. But when the living spark is out of the body is dead, the body sinks. Of course, when it is decomposed, it floats just like straw and other things, but as soon as the man is dead, he at once sinks in the water. Similarly, all these planets are floating in space, and this is due to the entrance of the supreme energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His energy is sustaining each planet, just like a handful of dust. If someone holds a handful of dust, there is no possibility of the dust falling. But if one throws it in the air, it will fall down.
Hare Krishna. So you can imagine, Supreme Lord is holding so many planets. In one of them, we are in one of the planets, right? What happens if Supreme Lord does like this with all the planets? Shh. Oh my goodness, what will happen to us? Oh, but Supreme Lord is so nice. He's holding all the planets in a nice way, and we are all placed in an orbit. Everything is happening in sequence, perfect as per schedule. You know? So we can, by seeing the schedule, we can understand everything is so perfect. Sun is rising every day timely, moon is rising similarly. All things are happening, changes of season are happening so perfectly. So all things are happening as per schedule. So when everything is happening as per schedule, there must be a schedule maker behind. You know? We cannot see the person. We cannot see the schedule maker. But from the perfection of the schedule, we can understand how perfect that schedule maker must be. Yeah, please continue.
Similarly, these planets which are floating in the air are actually held in the feast of the universal form of the Supreme Lord.
Yes, now come down to this moon wala thing. Similarly, it is due to the SPOG that the moon nourishes all
But- but,
vegetables.
huh. Due to the moon's influence, the vegetables become delicious.
Pause.
Without
So at night, at night, the moonshine falls on the vegetation, and that's how the vegetation gets its juices, rasa. Please continue.
Without the moonshine, the vegetables can neither grow nor taste succulent. Human society is working, living comfortably, and enjoying food due to the supply from the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, mankind could not survive. The word rasatmaka is very significant. Everything becomes palatable by the agency of the Supreme Lord through the influence of the moon.
Sloka number 14. Please repeat after me loudly. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. बोलिए.
Aham
अहं
Vaishvanaro
वैश्वानरो
Bhutva
भूत्वा
Praninam Deham Ashrita.
प्राणिनां
प्रणापन समायुक्त पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम्. Yes, Jai Madhav Prabhu. I am
I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and ingoing, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. Purport. According to Ayurvedic Shastra, we understand that there is fire in the stomach which digests all food sent there. When
What
the
is
fire
that
called?
What is that called in Ayurveda term? The fire in the stomach.
Jataragni.
Jataragni, correct.
When the fire is not blazing, there is no hunger, and when the fire is in order, we become hungry. Sometimes, when the fire is not going nicely, treatment is required. In any case, this fire is representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vedic mantras, Vrihads Aranyaka Upanishad 5.9.1 also confirm that the Supreme Lord or Brahman is situated in the form of fire within the stomach.
Therefore, since he is helping,
situated in the Therefore, since he is helping the digestion of all kinds of foodstuff, the living entity is not independent in the eating process. Unless the Supreme Lord helps him in digesting, there is no possibility of eating. He thus produces and digests foodstuff, and by his grace we are enjoying life. In the Vedanta Sutra, this is also confirmed.
The Lord is situated within?
The Lord is situated within sound and within the body, within the air, and even within the stomach as the digestive force. There are four kinds of foodstuff. Some are drunk, some are chewed, some are licked up, some are sucked. And he is the digestive force for all of them.
Yeah. So, what in Mangalarati reminds you of this? There are four kinds of foodstuffs. Which paragraph in Mangalarati? Yes. Okay, there are four kinds of foodstuffs we offered to the Lord. These are the four kinds. Sloka number 15. Any question till now? So remember, from 12 to 15, these four shlokas, 12 to 15, appreciating Krishna's position as our maintainer in this material world. So we are appreciating for Krishna being the sun and the moon, for being the digestive force in our stomach. Now, shloka number 15, very important shloka. It's one of the memory shloka. And this is the favorite shloka of Srila Prabhupada. He has maximum times used this shloka. Sarvasya chaham mridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarve ahameva vedyo Vedanta kritveda videva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Smriti, remembrance. Jnanam, knowledge. Apohanam, forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Yes, purport, Prabhuji, the Supreme Lord.
The Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life.
All this is because of the Supreme Lord's will. That's why the students, Shubhankar Prabhu, what they should do? They should pray to the Lord during exam. प्लीज मेरा एग्जाम अच्छा करा देना. दिस इज नॉनसेंस प्रेयर. मेरा एग्जाम अच्छा करा देना. वाह, ये क्या है? You should pray that please give me remembrance whatever I have studied so that I can remember. This is a proper prayer. प्लीज हमको पास करा देना. अरे ये क्या पास करा दो? फिर एग्जाम क्यों दे रहा है? इसे पास करा देंगे, घर चले जाओ. ठीक है. या नाउ कम टू अंत प्रविष्ट शस्त्र ज्ञानानम. The living entity.
The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. So not only does a living entity enjoy or suffer in this world according to the dictation from the Supreme Lord, situated locally in the heart, but he receives the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. If one is serious about understanding the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives him the required intelligence.
This is Matta Smriti Jnanam. Bhagwan gives him Jnana. Continue.
Why does he present the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because a living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yo sau sarvair Vedair jiyate. In all Vedic literature, beginning from the four Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads and Puranas, the glories of the Supreme Lord are celebrated.
Come to the last sixth line. By understanding Vedic literature.
By understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead by performing
So, by understanding Vedic literature, one can understand the relationship with the SPOG. This is called Sambandha Gyan. You can write in bracket. Continue. By performing.
By performing the different processes, one can approach him, and
this
at
is
the end
called Abhidaya Gyan. By performing different process, one can approach him. This is called Abhidaya. and
at the end, one can attain the supreme goal, who is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
That is called Prayojan Gyan. So there are three stages of realizing Supreme Lord: Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan. Sambandha means to establish relationship with the Lord. The deity for Sambandha is Radha Madan Mohan. The Acharya for Sambandha is Sanatan Goswami. The process of attaining the Supreme Lord is called Abhidaya. The deity for Abhidaya is Radha Govinda. The Acharya for Abhidaya is Rupa Goswami. And the final destination, that is called Prayojan, attaining the final destination. The deity for final destination is Radha Gopinath. The Acharya for final destination is Raghunath Das Goswami. Sambandha, Abhidaya, and Prayojan. Sambandha, establishing relationship. Abhidaya, process of devotional service. And Prayojan, the final destination. Okay, there's another one step. Just this is extra. When we do Tin Thakur Yatra, in Tin Thakur Yatra, there is one national Tin Thakur, one local Tin Thakur Yatra. Local Tin Thakur Yatra we do in Magi Purnima. We first go to Radha Vallabhji in in Shirampur. You all must have gone Tin Thakur Yatra. Who amongst you all have gone for Tin Thakur Yatra? Please raise your Google hand. Okay, only one person. Then no point telling. ठीक है. Yes, come to sloka number 16. द्वौ इमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षर सर्वाणि भूतानि भूतस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. Fallible जिनका च्युत होता है, जिनका फॉल डाउन होता है. Infallible सुप्रीम लॉर्ड जिनका कभी फॉल डाउन नहीं होता है. Fallible जिनका there is propensity to make mistakes. That is one of the four characteristics of jiva, na? Propensity to make mistakes, that is committing mistakes, illusion, imperfect senses. Remember? And there was something else also. There are four characteristics of jiva. But Lord is called Achyuta, means never fall down, infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible. Fallible means patan hota hai, sabka patan hota hai. And in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible, Achyuta. Purport. Yes, please continue.
As already explained, the Lord in his incarnation as Vyasadeva compiled the Vedanta Sutra. Here the Lord is giving in summary the contents of the Vedanta Sutra. He says that the living entities who are innumerable can be divided into two classes, the fallible and the infallible. The living entities are
devotees and non-devotees. Fallible means non-devotees, infallible means devotees.
infallible. The living entities are eternally separated part and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When they are in contact with the material world, they are called Jiva Bhuta. And the Sanskrit words given here, Shara Sarvani Bhutani, mean that they are fallible. Those who are in oneness with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however,
Shara Sarvani Bhutani. Shara. Shara means fallible. What is the opposite infallible? Akshara. Continue.
Are called infallible. Oneness does not mean that they have no individuality.
No. But that's it. Shara Akshara ho gaya. Now Prabhupada is going to again Mayavad and oneness and all that. Okay, come to the next sloka. These are extra things Prabhupada gives in every purport. But again, the extra things are actually also related to the top context. Number 17. Uttama Purusha Stvanyo. Boliye.
Uttama Purusha Tav Anya
Paramatme Tyodharita. Yo Loka Trayam Avishya. Vibhrati Abhyaya Ishvara. Yes, somebody else read, please. Abhishek Prabhu. Besides these two,
there are greatest living personality, the supreme soul, the imperishable Lord.
Pause. Besides these two, which two, Abhishek Prabhu?
Fallible and infallible.
Correct. So devotees and non-devotees के अलावा भी एक another person है. वो कौन है? साक्षात भगवान.
The supreme soul, the imperishable Lord himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them.
Yo loka trayam avishya. Trayam, three world, avishya, entered. Purport?
The idea of this verse is very nicely expressed in the Katha Upanishad 2.1.
Katha nahi, Katha.
Katha Upanishad.
Tha for Thakur.
Katha Upanishad
Katha.
Katha Upanishad 2.2.13 and Svetasvavartara Upanishad 6.13. It is clearly stated there that above the innumerable living entities, some of whom are conditioned and some of whom are liberated. There is Supreme Personality, who is Paramatma. The Upanishad verse runs as follows: Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The purport is that amongst all the living entities, both conditioned and liberated, there is one simple living personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintains them and gives them all the facility of enjoyment according to different work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. A wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace, not others. Prabhuji, आप mute पे.
From Sloka 16 to 18, there is summary of Vedas and Vedanta. What the Vedas are talking about. Like for example, in this particular case, the Vedas are also talking about the Supreme Lord, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them also. The Vedas are also talking about infallible, fallible person, devotees, non-devotees, and also of the Supreme Lord. Text number 18. Please repeat. Yasmat sharam atityoham
यस्मात्
यस्मात्क्षरमात्महम्
aksharaadapi chottama
अक्षरादपि
atosmi loki vede cha
अतोऽस्मि लोके वेदे च
pratitha purushottama.
प्रथितः पुरुषोत्तमः.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and
Fallible,
because
fallible, fallible, infallible.
fallible and infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person.
Yes.
Purport: no one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of
Clear.
Godhead.
Clear this statement. This statement is clear, na? Cannot surpass the potency. भगवान से बड़ा क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? Cannot surpass his potency, his energy, his quality. Nobody can surpass. मैंने उनसे उन्हें सॉन्ग क्यों टिका दिते बरबना? Continue.
It is incorrect to think of the Supreme Lord and the living entities as being on the same level or equal in all respects. There is always the question of superiority and inferiority between their personalities. The word Uttama is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
That's it. This is the main essence of the shloka number 18. So 16 to 18, summary of the Vedas and the Vedanta. From 19 and 20, these two shlokas, knowing Krishna means knowing everything. अगर आप भगवान को जान लिया, सब कुछ जान लिया. This is the theme of shloka number 19 and 20. Yo mamevam ashamudho
यो मामेवम् अशामूढो
janati purushottamam
ज्ञानति पुरुषोत्तमम्
sasarvavid bhajati mam
सर्वविद् भजति
sarvabhavena bharata.
सर्वभावेन भारत.
Yeah, very nice. Yes, who has not read Shubhankar Prabhu? Whoever?
Who there is a
Unmute.
whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engaged himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
So, yeah, please pause. Please mute. So, without doubting, who knows me everything, he therefore engages me in full devotional service. So, 19 and 20 means if you know Krishna, you know everything. So, whoever knows me he engages himself in full devotional service. भगवान को एक बार जान लिया तो he will not waste time, है ना? Continue. There are many. Acha, come to this Shruti, very important. Second para. Vedic knowledge is called Shruti.
Vedic knowledge is
Okay, there's some background noise. Somebody else can read. Yes, Pratima Mataji Porben. Okay.
Yes, there
প্রভুজি
is
পড়বো,
some net-
হ্যাঁ প্রভুজি, হরে
Okay.
কৃষ্ণা।
Yeah, Shubhankar Prabhu, continue.
Vedic knowledge,
Acha, एक second. Yeah, Shubhankar Prabhu, continue.
Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, learning by oral reception. One should actually receive the Vedic message from the authorities like Krishna and his representative. Here, Krishna is distinguished.
नहीं, here Krishna distinguishes.
Here, Krishna distinguishes everything very nicely, and one should hear from this source. Simply to hear like the hogs is not sufficient. One must be able to understand from the authorities. It is not that one should simply speculate academically. One should submissively hear from Bhagavad Gita that these living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is able to understand this, according to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, knows the purpose of the Vedas. No one else knows the purpose of the Vedas.
So see, again, that same theme is covered. What theme? Knowing Krishna means knowing everything. If you know Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you maintain him to be so SPOG, if you treat him like SPOG, actually you have read and understood all the Vedas, everything, the essence of Vedas. That's why it is said, what it is said, a person who is in devotional service in the previous life, what he has done? 4 things. Who can say all 4? He has bathed in all the Pavitra Nadiya, holy rivers. He has studied all the Vedic scriptures. He has gone to all the pilgrimage of the world. And there is another thing. He has performed all the sacrifices of the Vedas. These 4 things a person has already done. If he's that's why he is in devotional service. That's why he has come to spiritual path. Okay? Let's come to the last shloka of today's discussion, number 20. Iti guyatamam shastram idam uktvam maya gnagha etat buddha buddhimam swat krita krityascha bharata. Yes, Pratima Mataji, Orben.
হ্যাঁ প্রভুজি পড়বো।
Yes, Anubhav.
Translation. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection.
See, oh sinless one, sinless, anagha. Aghasur क्या याद है? Aghasur.
सुर, हाँ प्रभुजी।
What was Aghasur's form?
Snake food.
Correct, snake. So snake is full of poison, full of sins. Anagha means one who is free from sin, sinless. Purport. So this is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures. The Supreme Lord, knowing the Supreme Lord knows everything. Jisko one who has 100 rupee note has 10 rupee, 5 rupee, everything in it. Yashtim tushta jagat tushta. One who knows and one who has satisfied Supreme Lord has satisfied everybody in the world. This is most confidential knowledge, Supreme Lord says. That's why kya likha hai? Guyatama. So knowledge can be of 3 parts, 3 kinds, sorry. Guya, Guyatara, Guyatama. Guya means confidential. What is confidential knowledge? Who am I? Guyatara. Who is Lord? Guyatama. How can I develop loving service with the Lord? Again, knowledge can be three parts. Guya, Guyatara, Guyatama. Guya means Sat. Guyatara
Who am
means
I?
Sat and Chit. Guyatama means Satchit Ananda. Okay? Yeah. Purport.
Purport. The Lord clearly explains here that that this is the substance of all revealed scriptures, and one should understand this as it is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, one will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. In other words, by understanding this philosophy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engaging in his transcendental service, everyone can become freed from all contaminations of the modes of material nature.
Pause. So, understanding how to connect transcendental service, how to rebuild our lost relationship with Supreme Lord, that is Guya Tamam. Most confidential knowledge. Continue, please. Devotional service.
Devotional service is the process of spiritual understanding. Wherever devotional service exists, the material contamination cannot coexist.
Very good.
Devotional service to the Lord and the Lord Himself are one and the same because they are spiritual. Devotional service takes place within the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is said to be the sun, and ignorance is called darkness. Where the sun is present, there is no question of darkness.
Please
Therefore,
pause.
whenever
Which shloka is this? Lord is sun. Ignorance is darkness. Wherever there is sun, there cannot be ignorance. Krishna Shurja Shama.
কৃষ্ণ সূর্য সম মায়া অন্ধকার
Maya
যাহার
Andhakar,
কোনো স্থান নেই মায়া মায়ার স্থান
Mayar Odhikar.
মায়ার অধিকার হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ মায়ার অধিকার
Very nice. Okay. So wherever there is sun, there is no question of darkness or ignorance. Please continue.
where the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Therefore, whenever devotional service is present under the proper guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, there is no question of ignorance. Everyone must take to this consciousness of Krishna and engage in devotional service to become intelligent and purified. Unless one comes to this position of understanding Krishna and engages in devotional service, however intelligent he may be in the estimation of some common man, he is not perfectly intelligent. The word anaga, by which Arjuna is addressed, is significant. Anaga, O sinless one, means that unless one is free from all sinful reactions, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. One has to become free from all contamination, all sinful activities, then he can understand. But devotional service is so pure
Pause.
and potent that
So, slowly read. What is the hurry? So, one has to be free from all sinful activities, otherwise, one will not understand this Krishna consciousness, this devotional process. Now, somebody might say, Prabhuji, are we free from all sins? Are we free from sins? How we are going to understand? The answer to that is ask yourself. I think all of us, we are following the four regs. A person who is not following the four regulative principles, which is very basic, will he be able to understand the purports of Srila Prabhupada? No. It will not manifest. These are the few basic things one must. So that's why, in Bhakti Shastri also we have a pre-qualification. We write that in poster. Minimum 4 regs, and I think 8 rounds we wrote in this time. 8 rounds, I don't know, 12 rounds, but 4 regs is compulsory. Somebody, that's why am I saying this? Because somebody might say that we are not free from sins. Are we free from sins? Otherwise, how we are there in material world? No, there might be sins with us, or at least the basic things presently needed is at least one must follow the four regulative principles. Otherwise, what will you do Shastri study? Yes, please continue.
but devotional service is so pure and potent that once one is engaged in devotional service, he automatically comes to the stage of sinlessness. While one is performing devotional service in the association of pure devotees in full Krishna consciousness, there are certain things which require to be vanquished altogether. The most important thing one has to surmount is weakness of the heart. The first fall down is caused by the desire to lord it over material nature. Thus, one gives up the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. The second weakness of the heart is that as one increases the propensity to lord it over material nature, he becomes attached to matter and the possession of matter. The problems of material existence are due to this weakness of the heart. In this chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from this weakness of heart, and the rest of the chapter, from the 6th verse through the end, discusses Purushottama Yoga. Thus, in the Bhakti Vedanta purports to the 15th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in the matter of Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. Hari Bol.
There you go. So the first 5 verses of this process of freeing oneself, गांठ कैसे काटना है, how to cut the tie knot of this material world is discussed. How? Through that example of banyan tree. So the banyan tree, the roots, how to come out of the roots, how to cut the roots of the banyan tree. And what happens? And the rest of the chapter from 6th verse through end discusses Purushottam Yoga, devotional service, how to transmigrate the soul, how to consider Supreme Lord, that if we know Supreme Lord, we know everything. That's why this chapter is called Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One very important thing I want to discuss, how are the homework and the memorization of shlokas going on. I want to show you all something, what we are doing also. But you can do in your own way now. We are doing presently Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. There are around 40 devotees who have joined Maharaj Prabhu. What we did, 5-6 devotees from our class who are doing Bhakti Vaibhav. We made a small group. We named a WhatsApp group. We got along together. And we have a lot of shlokas to learn. And the Bhagavatam shlokas are very difficult. And learn them with translation. Comparatively, the Bhagavad Gita shlokas we had dealt and read in so many purports of Srila Prabhupada. The Bhagavatam shlokas are difficult to learn. So what we did, we made groups. There are around 15 devotees who are attending this class presently. You all can make small groups of 3-4 people. Don't make big groups. Small groups helps. Asking each other question, posting the memory shlokas videos with translation, and also discussing about the closed book answers, discussing about the open book questions. It helps. It helps. Especially this is a short course just for 6 months. In 6 months, you all will be finishing hopefully the entire thing. Bhakti Shastri is pretty short. Earlier it used to take 3-4 years, but now we are making it very. We are trying to make it very organized in this. That's a one after the other. You all don't hardly all get any gap in between 2 sessions, right? But it's good. The abhyas stays. The moment there is gap, there is relaxation, the abhyas goes. So I would request you all can make small groups of 3 people, not more than maximum 4. And this helps. This helps. Anybody has any question regarding examination, etc.? One thing I was mentioning today in class, that many devotees join after Mangalacharan. That is very inauspicious. I understand you all have difficulty, but today I don't know what difficulty you all had. There was no office today. But the point is, Mangalacharan is very important before any program, any class you all do. We know that the spiritual knowledge is attained through effort and mercy of the Supreme, of the Acharyas. By doing Mangalacharan, we pray to the Acharyas. And thus we can understand through their mercy. But a person who joins late, he doesn't recite the Mangalacharan prayers. So how will that knowledge descend to him? Should not ideally. I mean, it should not logically. The spiritual knowledge is different from material knowledge. Here, evam parampara praptam. Biology teacher is not linked to any disciplic succession, or chemistry teacher is not linked to any disciplic succession. गुरु परंपरा उस वहां नहीं होता है, गुरु के गुरु, गुरु शिष्य, गुरु शिष्य, गुरु शिष्य परंपरा. That does happen in material world. It happens in spiritual world. In spiritual world, this knowledge is transferred to guru shishya parampara. In material world, it does not happen that way. Those who are teachers, ask whether you all have understood this or not. Ask yourself. Okay, that's why I would request you all, join right at the beginning. Do Mangalacharan, train your system, adjust your lifestyle and work office hours, whatever, in such a way so that you can take 100% of these Bhakti Shastri classes. One day, you would be preaching all these to others and thus spread the knowledge. Anybody has any comment, any suggestion, feedback, any question? Okay, then we can end by showing our Hare Krishna, voting Hare Krishna. Oh, a lot of people are not showing. Okay, very nice. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Jai